Morning. Welcome to Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I'm Catherine. Anyone new here? Hello. Thank you for being here. Glad you're here. It is another Saturday in paradise. And how is my sound and everything okay, you guys? I'm just making sure. Hi, everybody. Hi, Emily. So, how are you? Good morning, Ron. So thanks for being here. We are live streaming on our Saturday. Last night, I accidentally started live stream Saturday when I was supposed to be live streaming my members only group. So you guys got a little minute of me. Thank you, Charlie girl. Appreciate that. Okay. Hi, Julie. Hannah, everybody. Hello. Good morning. Okay. Awesome. Hi, Sugar Butt Williams. Welcome to Left Undone again. So anybody have anything interesting or new before I get started that they want to bring up? I have been following the Fauna Fry case more than any other case. And also, hi, Christian. Also the Michael Bryson case. I was trying to get a hold of my lovely child, my oldest. He was going to come on and tell us some stuff, but he has not responded back to me this morning, so I don't know. Although, I don't have the best luck with guests. They seem to back out all the time. People are television shy or something. But anyways, Michelle, thank you so much. You are so sweet. And Michelle, I'm trying to figure out how to make you a mod. And I think through the StreamYard, it's not letting me. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that. I don't know. If Robbie was here, maybe he would know. But I wanted to, as soon as I came on, before I actually came on, I went to the little dots and tried to give you the wrench. And it isn't working. Anyways, we'll figure it out. Michelle's always here. Hi, Melissa. Thank you for being here. My other mod is here, Melissa. From StreamYard, the screen is different because I'm on StreamYard. What's nice about it is I can invite people in. I can just give them a link and they can come in and talk to us. So it's easier the way, and then I can put your comments up on the, we can put your comments up on the screen. So what does Sugar Butt Williams have to say this morning here? micolene said they have to delete stuff from Facebook because there's a perp who could have possibly hurt Fauna. Okay, well, here's the thing. I am not talking to Mickey or Jenny or any of those people. They are really having they want things both ways. I feel horrible for them. Their friend is missing. They want the public's help, but then they want to completely micromanage anything, any hints, anything people says, anything. Obviously, if somebody abducted her, there's somebody out there, just like all the other freaking 10 million people in the United States of America that are missing right now. So you cannot control the world. And so I'm having a little bit of a struggle with this investigation because I'm not the only one talking about it. There's at least 4 or 5 other YouTubers following the story now, and people are being blasted. The freaking Josephine County Sheriff's Department told exactly where this car was found in a press release. And now news reports it's been on the actual local news and where the car was found. And now news reports have brought it up and they're being blasted. So at this point, you're right, Julie. At this point, this is a missing person. This is not just the friends and families issue. It is a community at large. People in Josephine County would like to know what happened in their county. They want to know that they're safe. They want to know where things happen, what to be aware of. And I think as the public, it's important. So they can do they have a completely public Facebook, and it's public. So they're spinning their wheels, and they just need to embrace the fact that people want to help. People want to help. People aren't out there trying to just cause drama. Well, there's people going around the drama, but it comes with the territory. The troll, just like a YouTube channel, the trolls come with the territory. It just comes with the territory. So, we can only direct so much. So it's a little bit frustrating. And like I said, they had given me a lot of information and then they basically told me that I wasn't allowed to share. And then they tried to send me, is there something on my screen or is it on me? And then they basically told me that I can't share. And they, right. Fawn is missing, granted, and we don't want Fauna hurt if she's alive. Absolutely. But if somebody abducted her, they know that she's being looked for. Like at this point, saying, oh, we're not going to go out in that area. No, Mr. Scary Man, we're not coming. Don't worry. You can just, shh. Doesn't work. You know what I mean? A woman is missing, and I live in Josephine County, and I want to know, why is this woman missing? Did she take herself into some nefarious situation that got her in trouble, or is there somebody lurking around nabbing people from the grocery stores here? So has Profiling Evil contacted you yet? I'm your advocate. Not that you need one because you're superb, loving, caring, and extremely intelligent. No, they haven't. I don't think they're gonna, Julie. I think you might be spinning your wheels a little bit. I contacted them about the Fauna Fry's case and I asked them to look into it. And they sent me to their website to fill out the form, and I filled it out and I never heard anything back. Right. Should not be out on social media if they don't really want helps, tips, or ideas. And you cannot control the world. Unfortunately, you can't. I can't even control my kids and their adult. I can't, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you can't control everybody. So if you're going around censoring people posting things on the group, shut the group down. Get rid of it. It's not helping. 5,000 posts that say praying. Okay, everybody's praying. That's all that's allowed. So and you guys, I think these ladies are very nice, lovely people. I had nothing against them. I immediately felt a connection to them. I thought they were awesome. I wanted to help. And then I started giving jobs and told what I can and can't say and do. And, and so now I have a statement in my new paperwork that says, if you want me to look at a case, submit this form and don't tell me anything that I cannot say publicly. Anybody says something to me from now on, I'm sorry. I might say it publicly. I am not going to be told you can say this and you can't say that. It's been going on my channel since the beginning when I've gotten told things by people like April Raymond's mom, and then been told, oh my God, Catherine said this or that, and I'm not gonna do it anymore. So I'm gonna say this right here. I am a YouTube creator. I've got almost 10,000 subscribers, getting really close. And I'm gonna if you don't know me personally and you tell me something, it's free game. So zip it if you don't want me to put it on my channel. Do you know what I mean? Does that seem mean? I don't want to be mean. But I want to be real, and I don't like being put in a position where I am not allowed to talk when strangers are giving me information and then going, oh, don't tell. Well, then why am I doing that? Because that doesn't mean nothing. The videos that I put out are my purpose here. And exactly. And, look at the cases that get attention, the ones that are talked about, the ones that go viral on YouTube and on social media. Those are the cases that get solved. There are so many cases out there where they are begging to get some attention from somebody like a YouTube channel, begging, and they're not getting it. And the case goes cold and law enforcement doesn't have time or manpower. So at this point, need to narrow on John, her dad, and police facts. No, not mean. We did give you some information. Yeah. So I'm trying, you guys. I want to keep her story alive. To me, it's important. I want to be genuine. I want to be me. In a lot of ways, I'm very trusting. And I've trusted a lot of people since I started this channel that have turned on me, thrown me under the bus, talked about me on other channels, made up lies. And that is just not me. And that's not what I want to portray. But if you give me information, it's just for me to protect myself at this point. Don't give me information if I can't share it. I guess that's my bottom line. I'm pretty sure law enforcement isn't going to give anybody information that they don't want shared. Anybody. They're not going to. They drop hints. They tell what they feel like is important for maybe to be leaked or community to know. So they're not going to give information to other people, either. Hi, Salty Dog. Yeah, so the news is they found her car. I have some theories about the fact of what might have went on. Personally, they said it would have been there like a month or more. We were zooming in on the picture. It wasn't super covered with ash, which is kind of weird, right? My car is full of ash. I've not washed it yet. And if that car was sitting out there, anybody from the area, has your car been outside during these fires? I mean, I think it was put there. I think it was planted there when the story started going a little bit more buzzing around town and around the internet. I think somebody got squirrely. Do you think that? I do. I don't think that, so there's stuff on the timeline and when you're following true crime cases, this is the thing. They're like, we don't want anything inaccurate out there. We don't want anything inaccurate out there. It kind of always happens where something gets put out there and then you got to go, oh, wait. Wait. I can't take that call right now, but I think it's somebody. Okay, we'll just let it go. Yeah. And then Dragonfly, I think, interestingly enough, that area is, I don't know how far off the road it was found. We don't have any details about that, but that area is, cars go by. You know what I mean? No, I'm not going to take the call. I'll tell you who it is later. It's a good call, but I'm not going to take it. And there's different rumors. There's somebody on here that's told us a lot of little things that were found in the call. Goodness gracious. There's a lot of little things that were found in the call that were, it's weird. This call keeps coming back. There's a lot of little things that were found in the car. Apparently, Sugar Butt has been talking to us about things that she heard were found in the car. But I'm not sure if these are facts or just speculation. So I don't know. And yes. Thank you, Eleni. Thank you so much. Now, let's see here. Let me see. I'll check something real quick. Okay, let me just text this person back. Okay, sorry guys. So, and then, okay, Sugar Butt. Hello from Saintjohn, New Brunswick, Canada. So you'll take it. You'll chat amongst yourselves. No, it's okay. It does have to do with Left Undone though. So I'm just curious. I would love to know some facts, but the police obviously have to do their job. I believe that the family John has put out or hired some guy. Does anybody remember the name of this person? Hired this guy that has a dog, but apparently there's some controversy on social media about this particular dog. And yes, details and stuff will change. Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of like my mind is like in 1,000 places as I'm trying, guys. I'm like, there's just a lot going on. What was found in that car? We're told that it was locked. The keys were gone. It's impounded. I have some decent pictures that I screenshot of the car. Let me see. Let's see what I saved here today. I swear, but maybe I downloaded them. No, I didn't. Photos. Oh my gosh. Okay. Recent. There was this one for the car, right? Wait, camera. And then there's a back view one that was posted of the car, and I thought I screenshotted it, but maybe I didn't. It's on the Facebook page, and let's see, which was the car looks in pretty good shape. Oh yeah, it was in the comments. Okay, let me see if I can grab it. It was a bit from the back. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, I mean, the car looks, Kathy, pretty good. Why isn't it covered in ash? Why, guys? They didn't wash it. That means it was underneath something. I would show you my car right now. You would be amazed how different it looks. And my car hasn't been in the driveway. I haven't had it in the garage during the fires. And it is pretty dirty. In fact, I need to wash it today. Seems awful clean. The tires too. Yeah. For being sitting there for how long? I think it was planted. I think somebody got squirrely and moved it. That's just my theory. Sugarbutt, do you live over there? Did someone threaten you? Wait, what? What? I'm missing some drama now. Mm-hmm. Way too clean. Right. You asked Gray that too last night, why it was so clean. What did he say? Interesting, right? But then Sugarbutt apparently has been talking to somebody. I can't believe it. She bought groceries and was going to check into We Ask You that she didn't make it. If hiking would have been more supplies, Harry Oates is the dog handler. Oh, yeah. Okay. Do you know anything about Harry Oates, Kathy? Like, because some people are saying he has a bad reputation. Oh, look at Sugarbutt writing all in capital she's don't yell at us, Sugarbutt. There would be debris. Yeah. Right. It would look pretty dirty for being out there. The leaves look weird too. Gray is so upset because people he interviewed told wrong location a Jeep. No, they didn't. Nobody would tell us the location of the Jeep. Nobody knew. Who did he interview? He didn't interview anybody yesterday. They lied and said it was found in Grants Pass. They lied, but they didn't. Is that what you're talking? I think that's what you're talking about. When he talked to one of the friends, Harry Oaks dog handler, yeah, but oh, hi, Gray. It seems like it must have been put there later because that road would be commonly driven and the car noticed earlier, but they seem to think it was there for over a month. Right. Why isn't it covered with ash, though? What do you think about that, Gray? You want to come on and talk? I can invite you in. Let me know. Okay, yeah. I think that's what happened. Because Jenny told Gray that the car was found in Grants Pass. This area is about what, 48 minutes, 50 minutes away from Grants Pass. You want to come in, Gray? I'll invite you. I'll send you the link to the chat. It'd be kind of cool. You can actually for real collaborate on my channel. That'd be fun. Yeah, Gray Hughes investigates. See, Gray Hughes in the house. Okay, let me get the invite and I'll send it in an email real quick. Give me a second. And all right. Here we go. I'm sending it to you right now. Send. Okay, I'm coming back. Okay, I sent you the invite so you can come say hello to everyone here. Thanks. That's awesome for you to show up. Appreciate it. I listened to his show last night too, and he's been following this case, and he's got some, he tried, like he made the I don't think so, Kathy, that the high winds could remove the ash. There's so much, it would still be gross. Do you keep your car? I keep my car outside right now because there's a darn chicken coop in the garage. I said something on Facebook last night, Kathy, and Mickey jumped down my throat. Oh, wonder what'd you say? Did I hit send? Let me make sure. Yeah, I did. Okay. All right. Great for Gray to show up, huh? Yeah, awesome. Super awesome. The windows are clean. The car is clean. It looks like it might have been like in a barn or a garage or covered up, even just covered, right? Under something. What else do you guys think? Another cool profile pic, Sugar. Yeah. If you're going to talk about it, Sugar Butt, you might want to tell us what you're talking about now that it's all out there, Yeah, like button, guys, please. Thank you. Appreciate it. I messaged somebody who wanted to know what was in her Jeep. She asked me, what did you message them about? Oh, so you told her that I asked what was in the Jeep and she said, what did you message them about? Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, and you told me that the groceries were found in there. And you told me that there was a pillow found in her car and a blanket, a pair of socks, a clean and a dirty pair of socks, and a 1 can of Foster's. So yeah, what did you say to get jumped? Somebody on Facebook said what was in the. I messaged. Wait, no, sorry. And she said no flashlight. Right. Somebody on Facebook asked what was in her Jeep. Yes, got it. Hmm. Hmm. If you're not there, you don't know what was inside. Yeah, but well, I don't know. Sugarbet says she talked to one of the friends, and the friends told her that list of stuff. But how do we know? Oh, here he is. Okay, hold on. There you are.
I don't
Now
know.
I see me in thousands.
Oh, is that you? Oh, wait, I can actually. Oh, yeah. I'm
Like,
using I'm using OBS. So there you go.
there it is. It's a portal. It's the portal, the
Yeah.
Revallo portal. I was in there for.
I had my nose strip on. My wife says, "Oh, hey, don't forget to don't forget to pour my-"
Take that off. You're going on.
Yeah, because I just woke up because I go to sleep so late.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
your stream was late It was like 3.5 hours or something, right?
Yeah. Or let me move this over and become weird. There, that's probably better. Yeah. Hey, but I want to say you've done really good work on this one. Really, mapping out everything, getting all the timeline. I think you're the only one that had the actual timeline. I guess I have it now too because you told me what the timeline was. And yeah, and then I think it was weird because you had some information on where the vehicle was found, but we didn't really know at all, right?
Right.
But it was so close because I mean, I even on my show I had us go, before we knew on that side road, and I went street. There's street view on that side road. They don't. The name of the road isn't what they called it though in the paper.
Reuben Mountain or.
Yeah, maybe that's just sort of a local name or something. I don't know. Reuben
Yeah.
Mountain Road. So, but anyways, what's going on?
It was right up there. I mean, right there's the boat launch, and there's the mountain road right there. So
Yeah, and they said a few miles, so I made a line on there that's 3 miles. I mean, I can actually show it to you on the screen, everybody. So hold on a second.
Yeah. I can make you big, I think.
A second. So many folders. It's crazy. I haven't gone there yet, so hold on a second.
That's not right.
Yeah, right here. So this is where the boat ramp is. So it's kind of cool that they have street view in all these locations. So you can go down here and see what it looks like. There's a trail that actually goes over there as well and goes around.
Uh-huh.
And then over here, there's another trail right here on this side of the boat ramp. So from right this angle, where there's cars that park right there often, and then there's a trail that only goes like a mile or so this way around. And if you go up on this road here, you can actually see at some point, I can't remember exactly where it was. It was just kind of luck that one time, but you can look down and you can see that other right. Yeah, I don't know if that's it. But there's a trail that goes. You can maybe see it right there.
Okay.
There's a trail that goes around, but this is the road apparently that they found the Jeep on.
Okay.
It's nice and paved, and that's why it seems odd. I mean, the thing is if you click on the little icon where you can do street view, you can see how it ends. See the blue ends right there?
Okay, that's where it ends on the street view. Okay.
Yeah, and I have it go to 3 miles. So they said a few miles. So I think I could probably have it go another. Well, that only looks like that might be another less than a mile extra
in there.
Okay. Because right here it branches off, and then the Google Earth guy goes, forget it, and then and then turn around. I mean, if you go right here, that does exist. That shot right there, you can see how it. When you get to about right here, then it keeps going up, and this road here can get you up to the top of that mountain, because that mountain, Reuben Mountain, is actually, I think, right this thing right here.
Okay.
Right up in here. So this has to be that road, because there's no other road that goes from here up there.
Right. That's it. Yeah. That's the only road right up through that mountain.
Except it's not called that. It's called BLM, like 84-8-1. So, let me go back.
So, I'm kind of confused because people are like, oh, it's a really bad area. And then other people are like, no, because that's just like out in the camp, the hiking, whatever trails. I know that those areas like Wolf Creek and stuff are bad areas, but I'm like, I can drive up there. I'll be up there in an hour. But
Yeah.
but I'm not going alone, you know.
Yeah, I keep telling you, hey, you should just drive over here. You should just go. Well, maybe not. I mean, as a matter of fact, that guy over, I interviewed the guy that works at the Black Bar Inn.
On the river.
Yeah, he was. I played it on my, it's just my YouTube channel just for members,
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty interesting. He was talking about how dangerous it is on that road, and
Okay.
people actually, somebody had called him just that morning again, saying, "Hey, did she go down there? Did you give her a job or something? Did you do?"
Oh.
Because he owns this little. Well, I guess it's called, it's a ranch, but there's only a little tiny access road for them to get there. The only other way people get there is to raft down about 9 miles. Then they pull over and then they go into, they can stay there.
Ah, okay. So it's like the whitewater backwards.
I just want to let you know this pink thing here is a pillow for my elbow because I had surgery on my neck about a month and a half ago. And it's just, they messed up a little bit. They put straps on my shoulder and pulled on my brachial plexus.
Oh, no.
Well, you even know what that means, I bet.
Yeah.
So the nerves were,
the nerves are jacked
starting to get back, but the whole, it's actually worse after the surgery. Not from the surgery though. The surgery worked. The nerves got screwed though.
They got messed up. Well, that's easy to. Well, not. It shouldn't be easy to do, but it can happen. Yeah. 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 So you need to support your arm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just kind of let it rest on there a little bit. But so what do you guys think? Let me see those pictures of the Jeep. These are Jeep pictures of them after it's been impounded.
Yeah. Yeah. I have them on my phone, but here's the. If I can hold it up because I'm not really. Whoops. Okay, hold on. There's the Jeep.
Okay, but that's after it's been impounded?
Yeah, that's like yesterday.
Yeah, it's even kind of shiny. I mean, what if it was under trees? Let's say it was parked into the trees. Would that keep some of the ash from getting on it?
I wonder. I mean, I don't know that. Sorry. Now my son's gonna text me because he's gonna come on in a little bit about the rave thing. Let's see. Hold on. Let me just tell him. Yeah, no, because, okay, so that's why I'm really curious to exactly where it's found, but they're having a fit over there on that group this morning because they're mad that media released the location because now they're taking the guy with the dog in that Harry somebody or something. Kathy, you just told me. And they're taking him in there to sniff around to find fauna. Yeah. And so they don't want people to go there and, trample the area and mess it up. But they said stupid media, but the Sheriff's Department released the information. They put a press release out saying that it was found on that road in that area. So, so that they're
really controlling. I mean, I've never seen, I don't even know why the friends get to know anything. To be honest with you, why doesn't it, usually it's just the family. You don't tell friends all the ins and outs of everything. But if they do, then why can't everybody else know? It's like if friends get to know, then everybody else should get to know specific information. I mean, the friend actually, she lied to me. Like we were chatting and she said, well, they actually, they found it in Grants Pass. I go, no, I don't think so. So she was already trying, and they just want to do like fluff conversations where they're talking about, oh, wow, this is how where we're actually trying to figure out what the hell happened, maybe help in some way, right? Like just like get somebody to call in, or maybe heck, somebody might message one of us and say, "Oh God, yeah, I saw that car," and
yeah. Well, I have a little bit of a theory, and I know it's going to piss everybody off on that end because we're trying to make this look all fluffy and nice, and but you know how you said that her brother Dallas recently died, but he had that pain problem, like severe leg cramping. That's what Sean had said to you about the Dallas.
Yeah, well, apparently he had that before. It was some kind of disease of some sort.
Right. But he had bad pain. I'm just wondering who picks up meth heads, number one. I'm sorry. I'm a middle-aged woman, and there ain't no way in hell I'd pick up that girl. Have you seen her?
No.
Yeah, Desiree is her name. And if you look in the Josephine County Sheriff's Department website, you can see she's incarcerated right now in there. And she's a total meth head. So I'm not picking up that hitchhiker. Why would you pick up a hitchhiker as a middle-aged person? So this is just a theory. This isn't fact. But what if Fauna has an opioid addiction problem, because Dallas might have had these pain pills for his problem. Maybe she was dipping into them, and he dies. So she's got the rest of the prescription, but he's dead. So you can't refill it. And it's about a week after he dies, all of a sudden she has to pack up her car and go deliver this stuff in a frenzy, basically, to, his valuables to his friends that live in shady Wolf Creek, which is a shady area, drug infested. And she picks up a hitchhiker and she's given money and all this stuff, most likely. And then she's back and forth. What if she was just trying to get like her own opioid fix, buying drugs? Like, nothing personal against that. I don't know, but I'm like, why would you pick up a hitchhiker? Anyways, that's just a kind of out there theory in my brain.
Yeah, those are the ones I don't bring. I don't do those ones. Okay, I let other channels do that. I mean, sometimes we will, because it's just there's absolutely no evidence of that.
Right. No.
I mean,
but I'm just saying, there's so many rabbit holes and there's so many what ifs.
Yeah. Well, the guy with the brother had cramps apparently, and he would go in and massage, try to find that little knot and then get rid of the cramp. But he said after a long while, it got better and went away.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Yeah. I just know, I don't know. But that's what I mean when people are kind of like, oh, don't talk about this and don't talk about that. I'm like, what are you trying to hide? Like, if she's just a regular average missing person, let's just know the facts. And maybe somebody will make something in a comment that says they saw something or they know something. I mean, that happens all the time.
Yeah, just a lot of stuff seems odd. I think what Sean was saying about Fauna saying that blamed her dad, it was true. I don't think the way he said that, there's no way that wasn't said, unless he's, I mean, the way he talked and everything, he sounded totally innocent to me. But there's been other people out there that trick other people, and you never really know till they come up with who did it, or it could just be her. I mean, it could just be that she drove up there, parked her car, wanted to go hiking, but it's a really kind of a weird place to go hiking because it's like 45-degree angle up and down
along the river. I mean, it's up above.
Yeah, but we don't know where her car was parked. What if that other road, the one we were just looking at, where it branched off, she went down that one on the left a little bit and around, and that's where it was, and maybe there's a flatter. I mean, we just don't know.
Yeah,
it seems unlikely that she would be going down these vertical slopes, though, to go hiking and live off the grid. I mean, it's like a struggle.
No, it would be more in a like I guess where the hitchhiker is located, there's some like back in the forest kind of people living back there, homeless encampments and stuff. Something like that makes more sense, like a flatter area back in the woods. But up there in the hills like that, by herself and never coming out for food, or she's not really by the river. So where's your water source? That's 3 miles down if it's up that hill. I tend to think that possibly it was planted, but then again, it could have been.
Yeah, Kubi set up there, wanted to know how long that reservation was made for at the.
Yeah, it was made at 3:35 p.m. that day on the 29th. So it was for one night.
One night, okay.
One night, made minutes before she probably should have been checking in, because check-in time was 3 o'clock. If she made the reservation at 3:35, she had been running around all day. Rogue River, back to Grants Pass, missing for a couple hours in between, which I would think most likely if she was going to go hiking, that would be when she would go hiking. But, and yeah, I mean, I listened to Sean's interview and he sounded pretty chill about it. He's like, oh yeah, I don't care. I don't have nothing to hide or whatever. And, and he explained how a lot of what you said, like the meth heads if they steal a car or something, they'll just go park it somewhere. So
Yeah, I see that there's a lot of interesting stuff on both him and maybe I'll send you the guy at the Gold Bar Inn, because he was just talking about how, just that interview. He was just talking about how dangerous it is on that road leading up to there. Like,
so like if you come, so you're on Galeese Road, the road going to Galeese, that branches off. That road is the one you're talking about, the one that branches off.
He was talking about this one, how there's just a lot of really dodgy people on the road that goes all the way back to yeah, so this is where we put the pin originally. They said near Graves Creek. Well, I just put it there to know where Graves Creek was.
Okay.
And then you were saying that it was found maybe near the boat ramp. So nobody pay attention to this pin that I had originally just set there.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's just a creek. But anyways, apparently this road that goes out, there's a road that you can take from here that kind of goes out and right there, and then runs into Lower Graves Creek Road. But yeah, he definitely said Lower Graves Creek Road is a lot of, he'd never just go walking or anything on there. So, when he was saying that, it's like, well, maybe, something could have happened to her on that road somewhere. Then her car placed up here to be hidden. And, there'd obviously probably be two cars, because then one would have to take somebody else out. I wonder if they can see that kind of information. How do they know that she left? They said that she left the car in a hurry. Where was that information from, that she left the car in a hurry?
Who gave me that? Who said that? Where'd that guy's? I think that was from the friends. They told somebody in the chat. Sugar Butt, was that you that Mickey told that she left the car in a hurry? Was that accurate, or is that just speculation, or what? Where'd that come from? She's been talking to them, and they've been, I guess, giving her information. I don't know. It's very strange. But I don't know how they would know she left the car in a hurry. That doesn't really make any sense to me at all. I just think that sounds more rumory to me, at this point. And then I know that the dog guy and them are going to be up there today. So that would be interesting if they find anything. But again, they're just wanting everybody to stay out of there. But law enforcement isn't asking for that. I think they might just, and then they put up a GoFundMe today too, asking for people to help so they can find her and search for her. But I have a feeling they're spinning their wheels looking right there. My gut feeling that she's not going to be right there.
I mean, there's a lot of places on this road that you can just pull over like that, tons and tons of pull off places. But yeah, well, was there a lot of smoke? Were there fires in this area though? I mean, when we say ash, how do we know for sure that this area was covered? Was there a lot of smoke? Oh, you live there, right? So,
yeah. I mean, there was the closest fire from here was about 19 miles south. But then up by Medford, there was fires, which is about, 30 miles north. But we were pretty much surrounded, and I live in the valley part of it. But that 40 minutes from here would have been really smoky. Yeah. The whole sky was orange for, 2-3 weeks recently. Well,
no, it's the other way around, Lisa Irwin. See, Lisa Irwin said speculation can lead to facts. No, it's actually facts that lead to speculation. But anyway, and then accurate speculation. And then your good grandma said, what if she was so depressed she went off the grid? Yeah, I mean, that's something, right, that we've said could be what happened from the beginning. It's like,
and she fits a little bit of the profile. I mean, she's given away personal belongings. That's one of them. That's a very big red flag. She just left without really saying anything. She didn't take anything with her from her house or clothes or anything. And she's passing out personal valuables and stuff that obviously had meaning to them, to their family. So that is a sign. She also was obviously traumatized by losing her sister just years before, her mom, her dog, her sister. and now her brother, and it was only within a week. So she was up. I mean, I can't imagine that she wasn't severely in some kind of like post-traumatic stress thing going on.
This right here is an interesting area because all the rest of them would easily, you'd see it right away. But then this one has a pull off, right?
Oh, yeah.
But then look at this. There's something back there like a trail of some sort.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. And that's right up there.
And look at that. And look at that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a trail. So, I mean, let's see if we can find a different time of year. So that spot, if I was going to guess out of all the ones that I've seen, that would be the spot. Because that is actually a place that you could park. And then there's even look at right there, maybe even a camping area. And then you could literally go walking around and it's not quite as steep right there. And that's right. I'm going to put a pin right there. Just for the heck of it.
That is an interesting spot, though. That really looks
look at that. And that's just after where they say 3 miles. That's probably like 3.25. I would bet money. I mean, if I was going to bet, I would say
that's where it was.
The car might have been down here a little bit. So it wasn't right on the road, like I said, because it's such a obvious place that people would be driving around, and maybe just a few people pulled into here and went down this way. But this one here, tons of people, it's a paved road, would be driving up there.
That makes a lot of sense because I did read something, and I think it might have been on the page that was like off a pullout or a little bit off the road, but it didn't, the way it was worded wasn't super clear, but it did make it sound like it may have been off down a little, almost like in my mind, like an alleyway, but which would make sense for something like that.
Well, yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, it's kind of random to find that right now, but I think that is the.
I think
I would bet money that that's the spot because the rest would be really, really obvious where to see it. Because the rest of it's just you would be driving by and see the Jeep and say, "Oh yeah, I saw that yesterday." I was surprised. Not everybody in town. The two people I called yesterday or 2 days ago, I called. Let me show you who I called. I called this person. It's not a person, but this place here, a place in, I don't know if it was this Galeese Resort and Raft. She hadn't even heard of it.
Oh, really?
And neither did the guy at the Black Bar Ranch Lodge, who's right here.
Really? Because Galeese Resort, I've been there. I take people there all the time when they come to town because you can watch the whitewater rafters go by, and they have like nighttime music, live music usually when COVID's not around, and they have like cabins and stuff for people that go whitewater rafting, and they have a restaurant there. And I take people there all the time because you can sit on their benches in their eating area and get waited on and stuff, get a drink, get food, and watch the whitewater rafters go by. So I'm surprised they haven't heard about it because that's right there.
Yeah, this guy isn't as surprising because it's kind of an isolated. But the guy that owns it that I talked to, he wasn't there. He was in town. He just runs it.
Oh, okay.
So it was weird. He hadn't heard of it.
Huh.
But maybe these guys are more isolated out here than over here. I don't know. And maybe it's not as big of a story really as, we're covering it, or you were covering it and I just barely heard about it. And then I started looking at it. But, it might not be, it's not really that big of a story nationally or anything,
The reason I heard it is because how Dateline does those Missing in America thing, it popped up, and of course it said Grants Pass, Oregon. So I was like,
Yeah. Well, I guess Dateline did cover it on their website, right? They haven't done an actual show on it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And so then, I jumped on it, and then I did see that some other people had mentioned it. I don't know, some of the other, like maybe Web Sleuths or something had mentioned it. And, but then I was like, shoot, I can go to these places,
Whoa, Web Sleuths mentioned it. Wow. Better get all over that one.
Along with Suzanne Morphew case.
Oh man. I know I make fun. I don't, I want the case to be solved and I want her to be found, but I make fun of the just ridiculous over coverage of that case. It's just, there's nothing going on. There's nothing new. I mean, the new stuff would be, I mean, there's no new information to give out other than sort of the side meaningless stuff, right?
Right.
Like, yeah. Hey, well, how'd the search go today? Well, it went great. We didn't find anything, but we were all over here, and okay, let's do a whole show on that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's I mean, it's overkill for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if there's some breaking news, sure, let's talk about it. But you're right. There's like, okay. And
Yeah.
people are out there cornering Barry, and it's kind of scary. And
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. For your, look, you want to go over the timeline for your
Sure.
viewers?
Yeah.
You can do it yourself, and I'll just move around. Okay.
Sure. So what do you want to start from the morning of the Super 8?
Yeah, we could do that, or just when she left, because she stopped by the friend's house too, right?
Oh, okay. I don't have it right at my fingertips. I don't want to be wrong. I can look. Hold on. I got to pull it up.
And I think, yeah, we'd start off in Dexter, I guess.
Yes. So she started off in Dexter. Let me get this. I want to get this right. Okay. Here it is. I got it. Okay.
I'll get rid of my.
Yeah. So on the 27th, there we go. I got it. So on the 27th, 6/27/20, that evening, Fauna drives her Jeep from Dexter, Oregon towards Grants Pass. She spends her night in her car at an unknown location, and she does not bring any clothes.
Okay, so somewhere she out in this area, she spent the night.
Right. Then we're on the 28th, so June 28th, 2020, at 10:08 a.m. She stops at Cresswell 76 station and spends $20. So I'm assuming gas.
Oh wait, where's the Cresswell? Where's that? Is that down?
Do we have that on there?
I remember typing that in, but let's see. Oh yeah, I do have it there. There it is.
Okay.
10:09. I didn't put the $20, so she got gas there. So that's okay. Huh. Weird. So she actually went a little bit north. I mean, they lived right here. So she spent the night somewhere in the area, and then the next day is just right in the same area.
Is that where that is? Okay, yeah. I didn't really pull up.
That's weird because Dexter is right here.
Yes, it's okay. Cresswell 76 station is at 66 North Mill Street in Cresswell, Oregon.
Yeah. So this is in Cresswell right here. So that means she spent
not even
the
far
night
from home.
Yeah, it's weird. Like she spent the night somewhere just close, Anyway, so yeah, she spent the night, and then in the morning on the 28th at 10:09, you're saying she got $20.
Yep.
And I think I have it at that gas station. Let me just make sure. I don't even know if there's street view there. Yeah, see, 76 station. Okay, and then what's next?
Then at 11:40 a.m., she buys the chicken strips for Sean's dog at the Wolf Creek store. They believe it was at the Wolf Creek General Store.
Okay, and that's right here. Wolf Creek General Store. It's also a Texaco, I guess. Okay, 10:40.
And then at 11:45, she stops at Sean's house in Wolf Creek. She spends 30 minutes with Sean.
I don't know exactly where he lives.
Where his house is, but it's Wolf Creek. Yeah. And then he gives her the address to 830 Onion Mountain Road.
Yep. But we don't really know where that is because remember how that was just really messed up.
Yeah, that was messed up too, for sure. And then whatever the person she went there to see didn't live there, or some old people lived there or something, according to rumor committee. I don't know who lives there, but the guy that she was trying to find, she didn't find. Then from 12:15 to 7:04 p.m., there's no, we don't know where she was. No fauna anywhere, apparently. As that can be
It wasn't too long after the Sean, being at Sean's place that she was somewhere else, right? Like 45 minutes or.
Yeah, no, from after Sean's place, that was the Onion Creek Road and the Onion Creek Mountain Road, Onion Mountain Road, a creek, whatever, Onion Mountain Road, and then nothing. They didn't pick up anything on her again until 7:04 p.m.
Okay, that's over here at the
Cave Junction.
Was that the Super 8?
Nope. Then she went to Cave Junction.
Okay, let's see where that is.
And that's at the Chevron in Cave Junction.
Oh yeah, that was way south of there. That's right, I have that.
Yeah. So again, weird, but
Here, let me go back up here again. I'm gonna number these so it's easy. Okay.
That makes sense.
So this is one, because she goes back and forth sometimes. It's not a linear deal. That's one. Okay, then the second one was. Oh wait, the second one was right over here at the gas station, right? Did she go to the gas station? She went to the gas station, but it was a day later, right? After visiting Sean.
There's a gas station. No, the next gas station after Sean would be in Cave Junction that same day. So you went.
No, no, I mean, after she left her brother's house, Dallas, she spent the night. Then she went to the Cresswell gas station, then Sean, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
that's right. Okay.
Yes.
So Sean is okay. So
yeah. So
hold on. So it was Dallas, at Dallas's house, I guess. Then Cresswell, then Sean, down here. This would be 3. That Wolf Creek's just a pin there. Let me get rid of that so it's not confusing.
Yeah, because it's probably near that general store wherever Sean lives.
3. And after that, after Sean's place, the next one is south of Grants Pass, right? And where was that again? What town? The gas station.
Then Cave Junction, Chevron.
Cave Junction. Yeah, way down here. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And that's 4. Okay. And then after that.
Then at 7:45 p.m., she checks into the Super 8 motel in Grants Pass. So then she's back up by Grants Pass.
Right here at the hotel. I'll put that. This is going to be number 5 and something else. Because she went back to it. Okay, so she's there at 7:45.
Yep, she checks in.
And then what happened after that? Then she went to those stores, right?
Then she calls her dad at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Probably from there. And then at 8:30, she goes to Fred Meyer in Grants Pass. So it's just a few minutes away from the Super 8. And she spends $138.28. She gets socks, VO5 shampoo, Pantene conditioner, 2 Burt's Bees. So I'm assuming chapstick that's what Burt's Bees would be. A deli sandwich, a bag of potato chips, some activewear clothing, and 2 cans of Foster's beer.
Some Foster's Lager.
Yeah.
Good eye, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they got the Big 5 Sports right here, right?
Yep, it's right, literally across the parking lot.
I think they kind of that was at the same time.
Must have been. I would think.
Yeah.
So close to each other.
I mean, somebody has that specific information, but apparently it's too secretive. We don't get to know. Anyway, so that was number 6, and then where did she go after that?
Okay, so yeah, and Fred Meyer does show her, and then she goes back to the Super 8, and she leaves the next morning at 8:35 a.m. The video shows her leaving the room from the Super 8.
So this is going to be see. What do we have the number for 6? This one then is 5 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, 5 and 7. All right. And then we go.
Yep. 11:44 a.m. She does her withdrawal from the Umpqua Bank in Rogue River, which is south again on the 5.
Yeah, she goes on the I-5 and goes to that particular bank. That must be, obviously it's her banks, her.
Where she banks.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not that particular branch, but that bank, right? So
yes, I actually asked that. They said yes, that was.
So she goes there, and then then there's like this weird 3-4 hour gap, right?
Right. And at 3:35 p.m., she makes the reservation at the We Ask You In reservation. But then only 4 minutes later, she purchases $56.61 at Gooseberry's.
And this is all super secretive information, everybody. This stuff right here.
This is a secret squirrel if you've ever seen one. This is it.
Listen, you can't say where you heard this from, man. It's
That's right.
really.
Do not talk about this publicly, people.
Yeah. There's another missing person there now.
Yeah, I know.
Right here.
Maybe I should just go be a red. What is it called when you go put yourself out there like a decoy?
Yeah. Stand on a corner somewhere.
Don't kidnap me. We're working on a story.
Yeah. Okay. So then that's it. I mean, literally the last known anything. And the thing is, I called Gooseberry's on the phone, and the guy told me that they changed out their camera, but it sounded weird because at first he was talking about how they just didn't see her, but I kind of just think he was misspeaking. But the thing is, people don't keep surveillance footage that long, actually. A lot of times it sort of rolls over the top of itself, like it actually, like after 2 weeks, it starts recording over. Because if there's nothing, if there was something bad happened, you would have noticed it quicker. So it sounds like people dropped the ball and didn't go there quick enough. Like within the first 2 days, they should have been at Gooseberry's, right?
Absolutely. They didn't even release any information that she was missing until the end of July, even though her dad filed the report July 5th. So who knows? And now Sugarbutt, I don't know how accurate Sugarbutt's information is. She's a subscriber, and she says she's been talking to the friends, but she said that somebody was going to Gooseberry's to pick up the film, or they did it yesterday, or they were going to do it today. I don't know. That again, rumor. Who knows?
He sounded like they replaced the entire system. Maybe, that other place though, across that pet store that you were talking about.
Oh, the Humane Society thrift store? Yeah, because I got dismissed from that the other day. I got a message that said, "Oh, we don't need you to go there anymore. We had somebody else go there." Although I was just going to go there to ask myself about it. Well,
you can just do whatever you want. Go do whatever you feel like doing. The thing is, I had to take down the one video because, apparently it was made John upset that what Sean said on that video. Okay. So I took that one down, but I'm leaving up the timeline, the timeline that we went over. There's no way.
I think it's important. The timeline, I think, is important. Somebody might be like, "Oh, wait, let me look at my old receipt. I was at Gooseberry's that day. There was something weird." Like, who knows? You can involve the public by having them keep their eyes open. Or what did they see? Did they remember anything? Or did somebody else have a camera in that area? They can be like, "I have a camera. I work at the insurance company across the street. We have a camera." You know what I mean? Like stuff like that could come up. So who knows? But as far as like the whole timeline, I don't understand why that would be secret at all. And then as far as John goes, I've spoken to him. He's a very nice man. And if somebody's kind of making him sound like a jerk, I think still the bottom line is people aren't going to be like, oh, we don't care. We're not going to care about Fauna being lost anymore, because her dad sounded like kind of but everybody has issues and everybody has stuff. So I don't think by like hiding the fact that maybe Sean didn't care so much about John is that big of a deal. But he is the dad and he is upset and, and he is desperate. So I can see like not wanting to offend him or hurt him, but I don't think people are going to judge him like that. I just don't. I don't think it's a big deal if somebody said something about him.
Well, I think that whole scenario just kind of speaks to how it's been like a completely micromanaged case by all the friends who want to be the ones that the sole people who know the information, when in reality, the social media aspect, well, for the most part, is can be very beneficial. People might, people haven't heard of it. Go, oh yeah, wow, I saw her over at,
Mm-hmm.
It seems bizarre. I mean, this whole timeline here, the timeline that was known, and the two little pieces, Umpqua Bank and Gooseberries added, could only help for people to know. I do not see any way. Well, Gray, that's because you're not in law enforcement. You don't understand. No, I really do understand. I mean, it doesn't matter that she'd gone to a bank and then she'd gone to Gooseberries. It just is part of the timeline that show you where she was. And that way people can go, oh yeah, I saw her at Umpqua. That can come forward. Somebody may have seen her at Gooseberries. Other people do shop. Maybe there was somebody else in there, if anybody comes forward. But it's interesting. I mean, we don't know for sure that she actually went into Gooseberries at this point. Right. It was her debit card used in there.
Right. Which, man, it would be nice to have that footage if they had it, or to see who was there at that time at that counter. When I asked my daughter-in-law, who used to work at Gooseberries, she spoke the manager in there too. And the story was like kind of what he started to say to you, but he backpedaled a little bit. But we looked, but we didn't see her on the film. So it's a little bit confusing whether their cameras were actually not working or there was something they were able to see, but they couldn't pinpoint her. It just seemed like there was a little confusion when he was talking about that. And that's what he had said to her too. I could have been at Gooseberries for that day for all I know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. As a matter of fact, what were you doing that day?
I don't know. It was a Monday.
You know what you're doing? You're doing this whole show as a ruse.
That's right.
To make it seem like you were. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's the kind of speculation you get from absolute idiots in YouTube.
Doing the videos.
Right there. It's weird. It's amazing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Wait, Gray lives in Oregon too. Whoa, they're like a team of people that were. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. True. So true.
So that's the aspect of social media that isn't good. Okay.
Right.
The wild, moronic speculators, just totally. See, that's one of the things that you probably know that's one of the things that when people just immediately jump to the most outrageous idea. What if? Yeah, well, what if aliens? That's what I usually come down and next comment is, yeah, well, what if an alien came down and abducted her? We wouldn't know, right?
You're like,
off that side of the mountain. I mean, if you believe in aliens, then it's possible, right?
Right. Oh, you could go so many directions. I mean, what if her friends did it? What if that's why they're so involved in doing all this? What if they did it? What if they found her and they went, yeah. Right. So,
yeah.
I mean, so yeah, because there's a lot of I watched these, right now there's a kind of a weird controversy on this other stuff on another channel. And I'm like, no, here's the facts. I know the facts, and they still won't. I'm not even going to talk about it. But anyways, they're going down this conspiracy theory rabbit hole that has literally been told by the person, no, this was not a coded voicemail. And they're saying it was spoken in code. And I'm like, usually the simplest explanation is the right explanation. You don't need to go off to, like you said, like aliens and everything like that.
What voicemail? What case is that?
The Lori Vallow case. you know, there's a Julie Rowe left a voicemail, and she does have mental health issues. And I don't even know if you know all into the Julie Rowe thing.
Oh yeah, I covered Julie Rowe from the
Yeah.
beginning. I think she may have been even sort of the catalyst, like the how it all. She was part. It was what I always thought was weird about Julie Rowe was that she would tell those conversations she had about Tammy dying. Is she dying yet? And I'm having visions of her dying. And he goes, yeah, me too. I think. And then they come up with how she's going to die.
Yeah.
And then, well, the angels behind the veil now say that she has more time. And then they start saying, oh, wow, look, we see her dying again. And then she dies. You know, it's
right.
so you sort of wonder if,
yeah,
I don't know what role she was playing, but, you know, maybe spiritually, I don't know. It's just sort of a weird thing that I noticed back then.
Oh, yeah. Well, she left this voicemail for this guy. His name is Adam Vance, who was starting to follow the Julie Rowe, I don't know, her weird religion or whatever she's got going on, her weird, you know, thing. And Julie Rowe came to their house, and Julie Rowe acted really crazy when she was there and started like shaking and going into this weird trance. And her husband's like, we have to pray over her. And this came straight from the person's house. The person told me this, that who was there with her. And they said it was really bizarre. And they prayed over her, and then she was okay. But then recently after that, they had been talking, and his van broke down. And so he left her voicemail. She returned a call, and it's online. And there's this wacky word salad voicemail from Julie Rowe. And basically, in my opinion, she was just having an episode. She's been forthcoming about that she does have mental health issues, and it was just word salad, right? And it wasn't code, and it was to him, and now it's out there on these other channels, and they're trying to crack the code, and it's from 2016, and they say it's this go kill chat or Charles code talk, and I'm like, but even the person is like, no, it was to me, it was not a code.
And so interesting, though.
Yes, it is.
Man, you can get a lot of views. I call it sub mining. You know, where you just keep covering the same crap over and over again. Anything that's popular. Hey, let's invent something. See, but here's the thing is people love that kind of stuff.
They do.
It's unfortunate that there's people that love that kind of stuff, because then people keep making it. Because
exactly.
It's absolutely meaningless. Insane.
Oh, and then people come on my channel and be like, stop telling her that it's not code. It's code. And I'm like, it's okay. Peace out. Like, that's why I have this cup, because I need to remember, not my monkey, not my circus. Everybody can do whatever they want on their channel, and, you know, make up lies if they want, go for it. But it just seems so weird.
Yeah. I don't know. So anyways, gooseberries, right? That's the last place he was at.
Yep. That's it. That was it. That was where the debit card was used, and $61 worth of groceries. You did?
Yeah. Huh? Oh.
Kubi said, I saw you checking out gooseberries that day, actually. In real life, you saw me?
Yeah, I don't get it. Well, I think that must have been a joke. I don't think she...
Okay, scared me for a minute. I'm like, are you stalking me too? Because I got a few... No, I'm just kidding. Oh, my gosh.
I don't even see that comment.
Yeah, it's up on the thing. Yeah, so yeah, it's a weird one. I'll keep following the Fauna Fry story and see what happens, what the outcome is. Hopefully it doesn't go cold. Hopefully they figure out what happened. I mean, something happened to her. There really is something that happened to her. So we need to know what, or, you know, it'd be nice to know what. I want to know if there's an abductor in town, or if this was just some weird, she got herself in trouble with these meth people, or if she just got lost on the trail, fell, hit her head, and suffered, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, her I think that's what I was thinking in my head, that Kubi was joking around about you when I said that, hey, what were you doing that day?
Oh, okay. That was just from the back then, a few minutes ago. Okay, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I think what happens is there's a when do you have a rewind mode on yours where they can go back and go to the beginning
of my chat?
Yeah.
I'm in a StreamYard, but yeah, I can go back.
No, on your YouTube when you stream, you have to set it up where You
Oh.
have rewind mode where people can go back. Can people go back in time on? Let me see.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, they can. And when they do that, when you have it set that way, it's like a 45-second delay
Okay.
between. But if you don't have that, it's only like 10, maybe 5 seconds or so. So it's more real time.
Oh, I see. No, I haven't. I didn't change anything on that setting, so whatever it would have been is what it is. So they
That's
probably.
what the default is, though. I have to turn it off on mine. I don't let people. I can't stand having rewind because then people show up, and then they're watching like the show from 30 minutes ago, and they start talking about it.
Oh,
Like,
God.
hey, so what about the? And it's like, what are you talking about?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's why that happens. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
I've seen that happen. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So when you see that, it gets kind of frustrating and throws the show off. So I just don't let people do it. They'll just have to watch it the next day.
Right. I noticed that. Okay, I noticed that on yours, and I didn't know. I saw it because I tried to go back for a second. It didn't work when I was watching it live, and then so I was like, okay, I'll watch it tomorrow, and then I could scroll on it.
Yep.
Right.
So gooseberries, and then she heads up north. Well, we don't know anything about how her car got where it got. So all we know is she was at gooseberries, and then her car was found. I'm saying it was found right here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good guess.
Oh, it's interesting that there's actually like what's that? How do you get to that spot? How do people even get to where that is?
There's like vehicles or something over there, right?
Yeah. Vehicle looks like right there. Looks like just a bunch of junk.
Oh.
And
maybe it's a car.
And some vehicles, but I'm not sure how they got there.
Chop shop.
That's pretty bizarre, actually. I mean, let me see if there's something right here. No. It's interesting. I mean, obviously they got there. I mean, it's even mildly paved. It almost seems. Wait, there it is, right there. I see it.
Is there something through those trees?
Right
road?
here. Wow, look at that little tiny thing that goes off to the side. That's how you get there. Right there.
Ah.
See, it goes right there and then down and around. But that seems like that's, well, I mean, that's about 2 miles in. I'm going to say that this is where the car was. Right here.
I think we'll find out eventually. Somebody
That
else.
almost looks like a camping ground. See how there's even they built a little thing that you can pull into this area down there. And then maybe it's a view, maybe there's some kind of thing that you can see. Like you just walk a little bit and you can see off into down that canyon. It looks like it is right at the top of a
like
peak.
a lookout area.
Yeah. So it definitely could be what that is. So there you go. There you have it.
I know a lot of the teenagers and stuff go up to those areas and rev their loud boombox cars and stuff where nobody can hear. And
yeah. So what's your thinking? What are you thinking on this one?
I still tend to think that maybe the group the hitchhiker was with somehow knew she had valuables and did something, robbed her. Not necessarily the hitchhiker, but whoever she blabbed to, maybe if she was driving around in a car and she knew that Juana had money in her honor or saw her wallet or saw something, told people, and they possibly could have followed her or got in her car if she did go back to the hitchhiker that day and give her that $200. Maybe they followed her to Gooseberries or got in her car when she was in Gooseberries, and then as she got back in her car, abducted her or tried to rob her, dumped her in her car.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that the hitchhiker was used, as you let me know, that she was arrested on the same day, like literally like 4 hours after Gooseberries, walking around on the street over here.
Yeah. So she must have had some money to get drunk. I mean, they said, or maybe it was those Fosters, I don't know. Now, somebody did say that there was a case of Fosters, not 2 cans. And I don't know where that's coming from either. Again, that came from, oh no, I know where that came from. That came from someone that called the Oregon State Police, and they were told that I spoke with. And they were told it was a case of Fosters.
So why would the state police give out that information when everything's so secret?
Yeah. I mean, I'd call the Oregon State Police just to say, what can I know? But I mean, can you tell me?
The state police told them that, oh no, it was a case, not 2 cans.
Yeah. They told him there was a case of Fosters purchased.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's not really secret. I mean, the thing is, all these interviews, they're all giving us information on what the more likely scenario is. When you hear about, oh, she blamed her dad, then her brother died, and then her sister killed herself years prior. And I don't know what happened. Oh, the mom died the year before that, I think. And it's just like a lot of depressing stuff going on.
Right.
So that makes you see, I think it's most likely, I don't know what the percentage of likely, but like, let's say 60% that she did something to herself. But then there's that other 40%, which is pretty high, that something else happened, right?
Right.
Because she seemed to be depressed, and she seemed to be giving things away to people, right? Like, why didn't she could have kept? Okay, here's the thing about those coins, right? I thought my brother might want you to have them. Well, he didn't say he wanted him to have them, right? So the thing is she's going around giving items of pretty substantial worth to people, and a lot of times that's what people do when you're sort of depressed, and you're sort of like giving away your worldly belongings, right?
You give away your worldly belongings,
and so that's why it seems like she sort of had intent to do something to herself. And if she bought the alcohol, maybe she had that, drank that at some point, just guzzled it down with maybe some sort of prescription that she had. And that's just a theory, but it's based on what we've learned. See, without learning a lot of that stuff about how it was at home and that kind of thing, everyone might be thinking, oh my God, she was abducted, and she very well could have been abducted too. I mean, it seems like she was depressed, and it's possible that she was abducted and something happened to her.
Here's the warning signs talk. They sometimes will talk of feeling hopeless. And we know her dad verbally said on Rick Dancer that she was not in her right mind, and she was very distraught.
Talking about angels. Remember the angel stuff and all that?
Yeah. Having no reason to live, being a burden to others, feeling trapped, unbearable pain. Warning signs: increased use of alcohol or drugs, looking for a way to end their lives, such as searching online for methods. Has anybody looked at her computer? Withdrawing from activities. They did say she was very isolated and withdrawn. Her friend said that she pulled away from them a long time before, after her sister died. Isolating from family and friends. Visiting or calling people to say goodbye. Giving away prized possessions. Aggression and fatigue. Depression, loss of interest. So, I mean, she definitely had some signs just from what we're hearing, especially the possessions and the being distraught and the angels, and so. Yeah.
So what do you assign percentage wise? Like if you really had to say
abduction or suicide, I'd probably say, honestly, right now, I'd probably say 50-50. I'd probably say 50-50. Okay.
Well, come on. That's an easy one. Hey, I think it's
okay, would win no matter what, right?
Right. Well, you pick one that you lean towards. Okay.
I don't know. I thought suicide more initially, but then I started thinking abduction more, based on the weird stuff that happened, and the fact that the hitchhiker was disappeared or arrested that day and stuff. So I'll go. Okay, I will go. I think she was more likely to have been abducted than suicide, But I do think she did social signs of suicide. So I'll go 70 abduction, 30 suicide. How about that? We take
Wow.
that.
Okay. Yeah. I used to originally I was 70-30 the other way, and then I have narrowed the gap from that stuff that you were talking about, because it just seems like she wanted to be off the grid, right? She used a different Jeep. The Jeep had no GPS, right? Burner
Right.
phones. She's
Right.
giving away worldly possessions. Her car is found way up on a mountain somewhere. Maybe she thought it was pretty. And then there's that nice little lookout right here, right? So maybe she did the lookout and then she drank, and then who knows? She might be found sort of out in this area somewhere.
Right. If it's suicide, she's probably going to be found in that area.
That's if her car was exactly right where I thought it was, but it seems the most
In the
likely.
area around the car. If it was suicide, she'd wander out into the woods, drank, maybe took a bunch of pills and drank and said bye, and they may find her out there. Any hawks flying around? We should go look.
Yeah.
They're always flying around.
Oh, you mean not, you're looking for vultures.
Oh yeah, them. Yeah.
Hawks like to attack living things that are flying. Well, they do. I think they will eat
Dead too.
carrion or something, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I honestly, if it was suicide, they're going to find her body near her car in some 2-mile radius, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so steep. This area,
And
but right here it's not, though. Interestingly, it's not that.
Since we're sharing all the secrets, her sister did commit suicide on a hike.
Really?
Shot herself and left a note, and Fauna found her body where she was.
Yeah, and it's weird that sort of. I've talked a lot about. I've done a lot of different cases where there's been suicide mentioned, and it's true. Women a lot of times won't shoot themselves in the head; they shoot themselves in the chest. Amazingly, men almost always shoot themselves in the head. So there's this one case that I have where the guy, he's on the bed and he shot in the chest at an angle as if somebody was standing next to the bed. But the woman said, "Oh, he killed himself." And it's just such a lame, ridiculous story. But she hasn't been arrested or anything yet. You know, yeah, it's crazy. She was right there in the room, and he said, "Baby, I love you," and I'm going to show you now. So also, I made an animation of it. Really, it's really ludicrous. It's just
well,
and, and that's one of the things, and it would have been with his left hand. He's right-handed. Shot in the chest at an angle that just defies logic. She's the one that had gunpowder on her hands, but could be explained because she was trying to help him. Got her hands in his blood and stuff. It's just the whole thing was a nightmare. And he broke up with her that day, right?
Well, I personally have almost an identical story to that. My best friend was leaving her husband in 2015. She had already left him before. She was going to domestic violence counseling. She left him. She got 200 miles away from home. And he said, "You need to come back. We had the birthday party planned for the grandbaby this weekend. You're going to come back." So she turned around. She went back home. She went and saw him at his fire station. She said, "Okay, I'm going to go home and sleep." She got home at 6 a.m. and she went, "I'm going to go lay down and sleep." She called him, said, "I'm okay." At noon, after he went golfing, okay, your wife is so distraught she was leaving you. She just came back, but now after you leave work, you're going golfing. So he went golfing, came home at noon, and found her shot in the head.
Well, I mean, she was dead before he went golfing, right? He killed him before they went golfing, right?
Yeah, and she's left-handed. She was shot in the right side of the head. I called the coroner office, and I'm like, "Why would she shoot herself?" "Well, we don't look at that. Some people are ambidextrous." I said, "I've known her since I was 16. She's not. She has a dominant left hand. If you're going to kill yourself, you're not going to use your right hand." And so I have, I found a podcast, the Mara Mori podcast. They had a guest on one day. His name is Mark, and he's with MJA Investigations. So he is actually, I wrote to him and he took on the case. It's taking a while. But he said homicide is the new suicide, or suicide is the new homicide, something like that. And he actually believes that she was murdered. And
I think it's obvious. I mean, when somebody, it's just very similar. There's a whole bunch of cases that let's see. I think it's Melissa Pesky case. I mean, that one's absolutely the same too, except she was shot 400 miles from her home on a freeway. But see, she was listen to how crazy this one is. Like, this guy, it was a military person, and she was absolutely scared to death of this guy. Just an absolute monster. And well, while he was gone, she was like trying to get out of that relationship. And then right when he came home, she decided to leave and had the kids with her in the car and drove all the way. She was driving all the way across country, and then on a straightaway, a bullet comes right through the driver's side window and hits her in the side of the head. And the car rolls over the side of the road. Police show up. She's dead, and the two kids are in the back seat. And I interviewed this friend of hers, and she said that that Melissa had told her that if I ever die from a gunshot wound, it'll be from my husband. So what I think happened was he drove up right next to somebody, did either him or somebody he had do it, had somehow tracked her vehicle, somehow, who knows, or just followed it. And then on this long 20-mile straightaway, pulled up right next to the car, rolled down their window, and just shot right through it. It's so easy. I mean, don't do it really, but when you're driving your car on a freeway, pull up right next to somebody, and then just kind of imagine below the window so they don't think you're shooting them, and just put your hand. It's a simple shot for anybody with any skill. It's only a 10-foot shot. And so I thought it's a crazy story. It hasn't been solved. They're still investigating it. And he got custody of the kids and everything. It's just a freaking nightmare.
Yeah. You have like a 50% chance of getting away with murder. Like, really, is what the statistics say. So I guess it's a gamble. But
that sounds like a pretty interesting one, though, that you're
my friend.
I mean, it sounds really classic, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they must have found a gun next to her and everything.
Yeah. They didn't I asked them, I said, what about the gun residue? And the detective, when I called him, he's like, oh, well, it's their gun. It's going to have fingerprints. Like, he poo-pooed the whole idea of the gun powder residue. And then I don't think they tested, it was open and shut. I have the whole police report of when the call came in, and basically they were only there for an hour or two, and they determined it was suicide. No drugs in her system or anything. And they said a lot of times if women are going to kill themselves, they'll take something. She never did anything. She didn't drink. She didn't do anything like that. All they found was her thyroid medicine. And I know her. I mean, she was leaving him. I mean, and she told me she was afraid of him, like flat out told me. Nobody's asked me. Nobody interviewed me. Like, she said, she makes me so nervous.
Why don't you go in and just offer that information?
So they're in Texas, and I did. And they don't care. They're like, yeah, sorry. Yeah, there was a lot of things, but they went out to dinner Friday night. And I'm like, so what? Like, so what? You go out to dinner with your...
Yeah. Here's another thing too. I'm going to tell you is the guy, he's probably really controlling.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
Right. So there's no way in hell he would have gone golfing and leaving her at home. He would have stayed there and made sure, try to keep her there, do all that kind of stuff. So he goes golfing, oh yeah, go ahead, do what you want. I'm going golfing now. There's no way in hell that happened. So he probably killed her before, then went golfing as an alibi. I wonder if they were able to establish the time of death, though, like exactly when. So
I should just do a whole show on it at this point, because I have all the information. I have everything. But I did a interview with the MJ Investigations. Their podcast is a little bit different. Like, they have like all this introduction music for like 45 minutes before you get to the thing. But I do have an interview on there. They talked to me about it. And they're still working on it. They said they have a connection that's going to go in there, and they won't give us all the records. And he's like, well, if it's closed and ruled a suicide, why aren't they giving us all the information? They gave the gun back to her husband. It was just open and shut, and they're just like, yeah, sorry, it was a suicide. I mean, there's just too many red flags. And I had plans with her. I was actually in Houston, Texas, when she died I was at a training and
Oh, here we go again. Another story where you're right there. I'm just kidding.
I was in town. No shit.
Oh my God.
There we go.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but it was really a bummer. And her mom believes that it was suicide too, but they're elderly and it gives them so much anxiety so they're happy that I'm following up on it and trying to do things. But this investigator, they're all pro bono. And so it's just taken a while, and then COVID hit and, but I think we may or may not get information, but it's really, to me, it's 90-10 that it was murder, so on that one.
Yeah, I would almost put it higher. Those kind of situations are almost always that,
Yeah.
What about, do they have kids or?
Yeah, so this was her second marriage, and I think it was his third or third maybe. And so they don't have kids together, but they were married for at least
The people interviewed the previous wives?
Not that I know of. Nobody's
that would be interesting podcast material, because the other wives probably have a reason why they aren't married anymore that might match up to exactly what the situation was like. See?
Yeah. I'm kind of mad because I never asked her flat out when we were, I had a back injury at the time. So I was off work, and she had gotten her car and left him in the fall and drove to California to stay with her parents. And so I spent a lot of time with her, and she started going to those, the domestic violence counseling while she was in California. And then he got on a plane and he flew out after she'd been in California for I was living in California at the time, a couple weeks, and he told her to come home. And she was like, no, I'm not coming home. And then it got closer to the holidays. So she decided, okay, I'll go home. My girls were there. So she went back in November to go back for the holidays. And then she died on April 2nd. So she was leaving again on April 30. No, yeah. March 30th or whatever was the day she got in her car. She left, she packed up. He was pulling in the driveway. It's on the police report. And he tried to stop her, and she just took off. And she got 200 miles away and stayed at a hotel, but she called him to say, I'm okay. We know the hotel that she got to, and she was on her way to California, and somehow he convinced her to come back. And that is textbook most dangerous time to be murdered by an abusive spouse is when you're leaving. Textbook.
Yeah. Yep. And they get access to you again. You're in trouble at that point.
Come back. And so she went back and she saw him at the fire station. She said, oh, she was talking all crazy and stuff. I'm like, she's never talked crazy in her life. I met her in high school. She was my maid of honor in my wedding. She's a dental hygienist. She's never acted weird or talked crazy. I've known her forever, where, she was 50 when she died. And no. And so she just went home, and I think he followed her. And I'm like, are there cameras? Do any neighbors have ring doorbell cameras? Like, did anybody look at any of this? Nope.
Well, they didn't live in the same place, or?
They did. So she went to the fire station. He's a fire chief in Houston or something like that. And she went there when she was on her way back after he told her to come back, and she stopped there to talk to him. And then she said, okay, I'm going to go home and go to bed because she was tired from driving. So she got back home about 6 a.m, called him and said, I'm home. And then he went golfing. And then he came home at noon and said, oh my God, my wife is dead.
Oh, wait. So she drove all the way back, and she got there at 6 a.m?
She got back to,
And then, oh man, God, that's really suspicious then. Seems like he would have been right there at home, because he made an excuse not to play golf. Right? But it sounds like it could be that he already had golf. I don't know how that would work. It'd be interesting to know when golf was planned, because if he went golfing with friends, they would know if it was made that morning. Like, hey, you guys, you want to get up, play some golf? And that would be more suspicious. Had he had it planned prior to that, then he could have squeezed it in, knowing that was an already set up alibi that he had.
Right. Yeah. And you can get off a golf course. Like if he just played solo or something, got receipts, whatever. You go to the whatever 8th pole or something, and you pop out the fence, go drive home, kill her, come back, and finish your round.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, I guess if he wasn't playing with anybody else.
But I don't know. Yeah. And the
And
police.
a lot of the times, if you play that early in the morning, you're like the only one there. You know, like if he went there at like, I don't know. See, a guy like that wouldn't trust that she would just show up and stay there while he's playing golf. There's no way in hell, right?
Right. After she was already leaving, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. And that's what her mom says. He's so nosy and so controlling. She goes, there's no way he just left and said, okay, I'll see you later. I'm going to golf. Like, she's like, he's just, and he was, and classic, up the life insurance policy weeks before she died. Too.
Oh, wow. Yep. Man, that wasn't suspicious to anybody, or wow, that's amazing.
I'm just really amazed by small town America. And they're out in Conroe, Texas is where they were. So it's like they don't want their towns to look like anybody was murdered or anything. Like they'd rather just be like suicide in the books because we don't want any, rating for our town to be showing people get murdered here. I don't know. It's just I just don't think they did it. I think they did a shitty investigation, and I think they just believed whatever he said.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it's just really, it is classic. A lot of times they get caught, but in this one, he must have planned it out better than others, unless it really was a suicide, but it just doesn't seem like it, at all.
He got his money. He got it because he was worried about it. He verbalized to people, after she did that, I hope I can still get the life insurance money.
Well, I didn't think they gave life insurance out on suicides.
Right? But they did, which is weird, right? I don't know. But they said he got his money.
Weird.
But I guarantee you, if she killed herself, she wouldn't have used a gun. And I also guarantee she wouldn't have used her right hand. And then, this was the bottom line with the detective. The detective that I spoke to more than once, he said, nobody was in that room. I can promise you that besides her, the blood splatter. And I said, well, how do you know? He's like, there was no void. There was no void. And then the smart guy, the detective's like, prove it, because no, he could have been standing on a chair. Who knows?
What do you mean a void? You don't need if you shoot somebody in the chest.
It's head.
She was shot in the chest, right?
Head.
Oh, she shot herself in the head?
That's what they say.
Right? I thought you said earlier it was that was the other case. Okay. Yeah. So she shot herself in the head. So that's also contradictory to where most women shoot themselves. So she was shot in the head.
Right side of her head, and she's left-handed.
Well, why would there be a void of any kind if there was a person there? They would just have shot her, and the blood spatter would have gone out the other direction.
They said there was no void, right? Right.
They said there. Yeah, well, right, but why would there be a void? That's what I'm saying. They're looking for a void. Hey, there should have been a void if there was another person.
Right. And I said, okay, so I looked at this detective's background, and he's been a detective in that small town for his entire career, except for maybe the first 6 months. So he's in his 50s. So he was there since he was 20 years old. I'm like, how much blood splatter experience do you have? Did you take a class online? Like, where are you, Dexter? You don't have how much blood splatter? I mean, maybe you could understand blood splatter, but you are not a blood splatter expert. And it's his word. He's saying, nope, I didn't. There's no void. She didn't. She did it.
I often see the people that think they're really super sleuthy and stuff like on the internet, like during the Jodi Arias case, you get all these people like, oh, look at the void, void, void. They'd say that all the time to try to get some credibility sounding. So that's kind of what it sounds like here. You got this one officer or whatever is like, oh yeah, there was no void. Yep, that's the answer, everybody. Everybody just listen to that. There's no void. Or there is a void, whatever the hell what they're looking at.
He's like, you can't argue with science, Kathy. And I said, but this isn't science. This is your opinion that the blood splatter was no, you know what I mean?
Well, it's also why does there need to be a void? If he shot her, I don't. It must have been on her left side of her head.
Right. Sorry. Okay.
So well, she got. Well, you said she. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. She was left-handed and she shot herself right-handed. So it would have been on the right side. So why couldn't somebody just been standing over there, shot her, and then the blood the mist would have came out right around her and then spat her through the back side, and they're over here. There wouldn't be a void. there's a void if somebody else, if they're in the line of the spatter, and it's spatter, spatter.
And the bullet was on the other side in the wall at about 5'6" tall. She's about 5'4". I don't know if that matters where the bullet was, but I just feel like there's more. There was definitely more to investigate on that.
Well, it matters. Like, do they know, was she laying down? What I did in the other case with the one that I mentioned earlier, where the guy said, "Baby, I love you," and so I actually have the autopsy reports and the exact angles of everything. So, like, where the bullet entered his chest and then out. So I was able to take a rod. I made a 3D model of him and made an entire 3D bed exactly to size, because I had somebody go out and measure everything. And then I put him on the bed and then put a rod through the entry wound and then out the exit wound. And then I rotated him around on the bed approximately where he would have been. And it's cool because it shows you exactly the slat where the bullet was lodged. So you rotate it around like that. And then you can also extend it out. And it's amazing because I actually put a gun on the end of the rod, just to show, because that's where it was shot from, right? And it's amazing because it lines up right at the edge of the bed where she could have been standing and just shot him. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty
the thing is, so what you do is you just find, you have to get all the different angles. Where was she when she was shot? And the entry and exit wound. If it was just through and through, if it hit bone and ricocheted, then it's hard to do.
It was through and through. Yeah, I have the autopsy report. I have everything. Yeah. So, I don't know if I can make a model though.
Yeah. Well, I could. Yeah. I could do that for you if you wanted to.
Yes, I do, Dallas. I do have the autopsy report. I have everything.
Well, let me look at the autopsy report.
Okay.
So I can kind of.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
I'll send you the police report and the autopsy report. You can look at it all. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, maybe we should take a look at it then. Maybe that could be another. We could do collab. What we could do is we could do something where we can both be streaming at the same time.
Yeah.
Because like right now I could be streaming and then you would be up on the screen too. Oh. I mean, not on my side. I have to make another window for you, but it'd be kind of cool to do it that way.
Oh yeah, I don't know how to do that, but that would be cool.
Well, yeah, you would just do it the way you're doing it.
And then you stream too.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the audio, how that works somehow. Oh. I guess we could do a test or something at some point.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Look at the audience says that would be awesome.
Yeah, I've got a lot of haters out there on the internet. And by the way, don't try to send emails, by the way, people, to try to pit people against people. Okay, doesn't work. It happens every single time. Every single time I even start talking to somebody tries to do that.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy because they don't like the way I do my shows. I don't allow the crazy, wild speculation shit. So I shut people down like really quick, and they get really offended by it, and then they go cry, and then if you show up somewhere else, they start bitching and moaning, and then it starts this whole avalanche. But you know what? I'm just who I am, everybody. That's it.
You are, and you should be who you are. Don't be anybody else.
You got to be who you are.
Be who you are. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. But I definitely would like to see that the police report and the autopsy.
Yeah, I'll dig it all up. I'll forward it to you. I have a whole file on it, so I might have to scan some stuff, but I will send it. Because you know what? I mean, the more brains, the better on this one, because this one is literally know-how. Like, I've reached out to these people, the MJ investigations, but more people, the more, if we can talk about it, and get some brains thinking, I think it'd be really helpful. And I just, when you know somebody, I know her, she was my best friend in high school and beyond. And I just know her. And I just.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I think that'd be an interesting one to take a look at. Get some more, get it more active. It sounds like, there's this podcast that you're talking about, but it'd be cooler if YouTube, sorry, those are my dogs, but like YouTubers picked it up.
Yeah.
Made it sort of a bigger story. People were like, oh, wow, and it became interesting. Then the police get pressure on them to
Right.
do more. Open it up again. Maybe call it Undetermined, perhaps.
Right. And that's what that MBA guy said. He said that least should happen is that it becomes undetermined, because that's.
Yeah, well, it was cool in the DJ Blue in the DJ Ficky. Blue, come here. Yeah, in the DJ Ficky case, that was one that's been out there for a while. They had listed it as a suicide, and it was the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, literally one of the dumbest rulings that were in existence. I mean, I watched all of the interrogation. Not one person, even the guy that pulled the trigger, said that he had a gun. He was holding onto the gun, and then DJ's wife came in and pulled the guy's arm, and then it fired. Well, that makes it immediately not it's not a suicide, right? Because somebody else pulled his arm. So that's even the guy that pulled the trigger. And so I made this entire, and then there's two other interviews where one of them said, well, he just brought the gun in to intimidate him. And then they were like, well, the gun was loaded. Why would he bring a loaded gun to intimidate somebody? He goes, oh, that's a good point. He goes, he doesn't think he intentionally shot him, but he's the guy that had his hand on the trigger. It's just, but they ruled it a suicide, and the medical examiner said it was a suicide because he had meth in his system, and because it's a stimulant, he should have been able to defend himself. What the hell? That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. So I made this whole video, 6 minutes long, going through each part, and then I sent it to the Georgia Bureau, GBI, and I talked to a medical examiner. They seemed sort of interested, and a different one, they seemed interested. And then it just sort of fell apart again. But then eventually somebody else contacted me, an investigator over there, and we talked for a while. And then I sent him that very same video. And then he called me up like 2 weeks ago and said, I just want to let you know we've changed it to undetermined. Oh. And then I said, whoa. And then I called up DJ's sister, Amanda, and I said, hey. And she goes, oh, I hadn't even heard that yet. So it was cool. Like, he called me. And then what's crazy is this other podcaster took all the, I don't know what she is, or some other person out there took all the credit for it. It was like, I didn't, I don't really care about that part, but it's weird when she goes, oh yeah, thanks, Gray, for reading our documents on the, and I go, I didn't read any of those things. I just made my video and I sent it in. I just think it's weird, sort of that kind of shit that goes on out there, the jockeying. But it felt pretty cool. And then it wasn't supposed to be out there. So then 2 days later, then she actually called, the sister called that same number, because I gave her the number, and he wouldn't say his name, but he did tell her, yep, we've changed it. And then 2 days later, it was official out in the news. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool. Really cool. But yeah, people are gonna.
Well, it feels cool to actually make a difference. Like when you're literally doing something and it helps something get achieved, because now it's undetermined and they're gonna have to look at it again. I think there's no way in hell it's not at least some sort of reckless homicide of some sort.
Right.
I mean, a guy has a loaded shotgun to somebody's face, and it's his gun, and then all of a sudden it shoots him through the mouth, goes out the back of his head, and he didn't pull the trigger himself, the guy, right? So where are we at with that? Right. It's amazing. Yeah.
That's super cool though. Yeah.
Like this, the guy, it's funny, the guy in the interrogation, he said, I had a gun like this and it said boom. That's how he talked, it's just and it said boom. And it was like, he's just, man, it's just crazy. But I don't know what it is. But anyways, whenever you listen to that, he just sounds like a total idiot. But even he said that the DJ didn't pull the trigger. So doesn't that right then, immediately when the guy holding the gun said that it was DJ's wife who pulled his arm and it shot, then the gun went off. it immediately makes it not a suicide. Even if he kept saying, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me, right?
Right.
He didn't pull the trigger.
He didn't pull the trigger. It's not a suicide, right?
Yeah. It's just that, it's that simple. But these morons said, well, he should have been able to defend himself because he had meth in his system. Oh God, who gives a crap if he had meth in his system? You know, it has nothing to do with it. Maybe that's why he was sitting there going, oh, we don't even know. 2 witnesses said that the guy who shot came in and threatened him and shot him. The only person who said it was DJ holding it to his mouth for suicide was the actual shooter guy. So he's the one with most to gain with a lie, and his lie didn't even include him shooting himself. It was that somebody else pulled it, right? So it's like, come on, police. You guys should have been able to figure that one out.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. So, hello. So if people can dig and stir things up, on social media, YouTube, whatever, and it brings some awareness, it can't be a bad thing as long as it's like, obviously they got the rumors and speculation and the stuff that's all crazy and theories that can mess a little bit of it up. But if you really stick to like, okay, look at this, like, this is actually what happened. Like you said, measure things, look at that. It can't hurt. It can't hurt.
No, that's why I want to see those documents. Because I have a bunch of programs where I have, 3D characters that I can manipulate around, put them in the positions, and get them at the right height, and then just look at it. I mean, sometimes just reading something, you can go, "Oh, Jesus, that's."
Yeah, you might see something, right? Yeah. And I think I still have the recording of when I talked to the coroner's office. I recorded the call, so I think I still have that.
Oh, wow.
I didn't record the detective, but I do have that, which was kind of weird when she was talking about we don't look at the handedness of the person. And then the medical examiner was going to call me back, and they never did. And
well, the handedness should be part of it. It should be, well, it's, they're right-handed and it's a left-handed shot. That's, normally, like there's percentages out there, I'm sure, that say, what are the percentages of people who are right-handed who commit suicide that actually use their left hand, the ones that are absolutely verifiable. And then you could say, well, that makes it only 10% chance that they would have done that. And then let's keep moving forward. And as soon as you start going down the list of chances, you start ending up with something that's like 1 in a million. Then you go, okay, well.
Right. Look at the statistics. Yep, completely. Yep. So.
Yeah. Anyway, but you did a great job on this case here, doing, getting all the timeline and following up with different people. And
thank you.
And thanks for sharing the information.
Oh, you're welcome.
Unfortunately, the family and everybody didn't share it. So, I mean, they shared some of it, I guess, but they wouldn't share it with the public.
No, and there's some censorship going on there. But that's why I'm not really talking to them, because whatever I find out, I want to be able to talk about,
Yeah. It's like there's a certain point where you just say, well, that's what I even said in a message to her. I said, listen, I'll just find out my stuff in a different way. Because I told her that I knew that she lied to me about, it's being found in Grants Pass. Well, I go, what do you mean? It was on Scanner Radio way up in, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it, so I don't like that part.
Yeah, no. Don't try to throw us off. I mean, just either don't talk to us or don't, or don't talk if you don't want to tell us the truth, or if you don't want us to say something. That's the bottom line, I think.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm going to get off here, but you can go back to doing your show.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping. That was really awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah, anytime. I'm here every Saturday. So,
all right. This window's open because I have to shut it down. Where do I go? Do it?
I can dismiss you.
Okay. Well, anyways, see you later.
All right. Okay, bye. All right. There we go. So what do you guys think? That was kind of cool. That made me happy to have another channel come on, and that was super. I'm really glad. Thank you, Gray Hughes, for stopping in. Special guest. Thank you. Thank you guys for the donations. I appreciate it. We were talking so much. It was hard to stop every time. You want to study my friend's case? Thank you for the donation, Miss Skis. Let me see now. So you guys, let me see if I'm going to see if my son wants to come on. Now, remember the Michael Bryson case? My son has a lot of experience with these renegade/raves. So if you have time to stick around, I'm going to see if you want to come down. And come on. He actually got injured at a renegade rave not too long ago, a bad head injury. And it was some shady stuff that went on when he got hurt. And he wanted to talk about, I asked him if he would come on and explain how those work and how there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on too. And Michael Bryson disappeared at this rave. So let me call him. And then let me call him real quick. Because then I'll send him the link to join. How do I do this? I have to give you the link to come on StreamYard. Can you come? I just don't know how to get it to you online. Hello? Are you there? How do I get you the link from my computer to your phone here? Oh, wait, you know what? I have a Mac. I'm not be an knucklehead. Let me see. Let me send it to you and then you can join us. Okay. Just hang tight for a minute. Cause I think I can get my messenger up here. Did you text me? Yeah, you did text me. Okay. Give me a minute and then I'll see if you come in. Okay. All right. Bye. Bye. All right. Let me see you guys. Sorry. I'm like, there he is. Okay, let's see. I can do this and paste. All right. Okay, so yes, I think I should. Oh, a new member. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. So my son Tim's gonna show up, I think. I just sent him the link on his phone. And so remember, Michael Bryson was, thank you, Gray, for the donation. I thank you so much. Appreciate that very much. Send a super sticker, $10 donation. There he is. Thank you. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. So Michael Bryson case is from up near the Eugene area. Michael went to a rave/renegade and party, and he's 27 years old. I did a video on him, and he disappeared at supposedly 4:30 in the morning on the 5th of August. Nobody told his family that he was disappeared. It was a big campground up in the middle of the forest it was called the Hobo Campground. And that's the link. And he disappeared, and his parents are just besides themselves. They were in the live stream last week, Tina and Parrish, and they are working to find him. Posters are going up. People seem to know something, people that were at this party. It was a birthday party for this girl that was turning 21, Josie birthday girl or something like that. And there was a self assigned lady that said she was the camp mom. But long story short, Michael Bryson's still missing, and he hasn't been found, and the family's just frustrated. And of course the whole, fires messed up searching, but it's very strange. They use dogs. They use live dogs, cadaver dogs. He was in a bus with like 5 people, and the 5 people said they all had the same story, which is suspicious, that he said, "You don't want me here?" And he got up and he walked away, never to be seen from or heard from again. I think he's 6 foot tall, 180 pounds, and he was wearing black shorts, a corduroy hat, no shirt, possibly. They're not sure. And his shoes were like rainbow colored Crocs. So I don't know if my son's gonna, what the heck? But so my son DJ'd at these type of raves, and Michael did have a set. I guess he did the first night. He did DJ at this rave, but he was also attending the party. Bye, Melissa, and thank you. And so he was there's, but Tim, my son, he needs to tell you, because this story, it makes much more sense when he talked to you. But he has worked at these raves and been at them, and has seen some shady stuff go on. So if he clicks on the damn link, he might show up here eventually. Let's see, Rob Day. Heck yeah. Can't wait to watch all the Daybell court proceedings live together. A little crime content for him. Yeah, Robbie's awesome. Thanks, Robbie. I'm glad you're inviting people to the Discord. That's really awesome. Much appreciated. Melissa, we will see you later. Hobo Campground, right? Okay. Hobo Campground, a person on your video comments. He says he knows these rave people and they would never hurt Michael. Not necessarily the people that were, there was like 100 people there. Nobody knew everybody, and there were probably some, it doesn't necessarily mean the friends that were there were going to, I don't know. I feel like it takes a while for somebody to get on. Maybe he has to download something for the StreamYard. I know. Okay. He said he's coming. Maybe he had to put on makeup, No. I'm not, you never know, this is television, might want it to look good. But the party, they're saying there wasn't really much. If you join there's a lot of people on the Let's Find Michael Bryson Facebook group. Let me find the group, find it for you, and I'll tell you. There's a lot of interest and there's a lot of people that really care, but there are some secret squirrels stuff going on where people aren't talking that might know stuff. Let's Find Michael Bryson public group. There's 16,400 members in the Let's Find Michael Bryson group. So, okay, here's some pictures. This must be pictures from that day. There are some pictures. So yeah, if you go join the group, you can see. And the parents are just, Okay, yeah. So she says, everyone has been wanting to see some pictures of the party. Camp Mom Michelle sent her some last night. This is Josie, birthday girl. Behind her is my son, Michael. Those were taken on Tuesday afternoon. He had no idea that his young life would be over in less than 12 hours from these photos. They're pretty convinced he's dead. I just want to reach through my phone and grab him away from this damn mess. He had these shorts on, Crocs on. I have his white Pac-Man shirt here at home. We don't know what shirt he had on or if he did have one. So let me see if I can see Michael. Pac-Man shirt behind him. Oh, okay. So he's back here sleeping. So that would be, or laying in the, so he's got that corduroy hat on and a Pac-Man shirt, I guess. And let's see if we can see his, oh, here's his feet. Here's his feet. Okay, so those will be the shoes. Okay, here comes Tim. Let me let him in. Hello.
Hi.
All right, guys, so this is my child, Tim, and I told him about the Michael Bryson case. and he is going to tell you guys about like what goes on at these possibly could have happened or what goes on at these renegade type you know, events that could have been nefarious to Michael Bryson. Oh, go ahead and talk.
Hi. Okay. Well, my name's Tim. 30 now. 31. Actually, no, I'm turning 30 again this year. I'm not.
Okay, we don't go talk about the.
It's okay. So raves, right? Yeah. So I pretty much grew up most of my adult life going to a lot of festivals, raves, you know, legal and illegal. And over the years, I've noticed that a lot of the things that happen in terms of like the rave like culture and a lot of how these events start is through, you know, illegal basis, like under an illegal basis. Like for example, somebody's got a bunch of drug money they need to launder or wash out. They decide they throw a festival, and it's a perfect way to justify, you know, 20, 30, $40,000 coming in. So already right there, you've got like interests that go outside of just an event. And I've noticed this is like the big thing with the big private events. Like it's, you know, you go to them so you could take lots and lots of substances and really just not feel like you're going to be raided by the police or anything like that, because they put them so far out in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, back in September, just like I'm kind of talking about, I was supervising production at one of these things, and the stage basically collapsed on me as I was walking by it when the wind kicked up, and I had blood coming out of my head, and it was like, I think my blood pressure was dropping real fast. It was very hard to stay conscious. I had taken like the biggest beating over the head I've ever had in my life, and
worse than I ever been. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. So I found myself laying down in the dirt with, you know, everybody scrambling at me, and there's all kinds of energy floating around. There's people who are like telling, you know, everyone how to do their job. You got my two friends who are like, basically they're military, so they're not going to let anything happen. But then you've got all these outside people who are like, oh no, I know what's best. And basically while this is happening, keep in mind, we're on somebody's campground. Like that's out in the middle of nowhere in like Lake Isabella in California. So it's very like far away from a hospital. Like it's not like I'm just going to get there in 5 minutes, like as if we were like in LA or in like the city area or something. So one of these guys, he like basically drives his car up into this bowl area, which is definitely not the smartest area to be driving, like a little like Toyota. And he like basically like grabs me and tries to put me in his car, and I'm just dazed, so I don't really know what's going on. Like I'm just, all I know is that I don't like the way things smell. My senses are very high. I'm basically feel like I'm about to lose consciousness, and I've got this guy who's definitely gave me the vibe of the person who would take me and throw me in a hole, because he had nothing to do with the event. And he, you know, is probably trying to look after the interest of the land he's looking after. So while I was there, I learned a little bit about this place. It's kind of like one of those like cult like / commune type of communities that live a little off grid. And the people who made a deal to throw the event there, like, you know, they're all like, you know, clearly spent some time together somewhere else. And the network very loosely organized, you know, and that comprises of dozens of drug dealers, you know, people, you know, who are involved in music, you know, people who, you know, are just more into like that Burning Man like going to festival vibe, you know, campers, all of it. The one thing I noticed out of all of these people, the one thing they had in common, despite the fact they come from all of these different areas, is that they wanted to cover this up to the point where they're covering up my accident. It, like, I have no doubt in my mind if I died, they'd try to cover that up too, just due to the way they handled everything. And so I spent the last year thinking about this and like really just kind of reflecting on the fact that, like, yeah, there was a lot more here to protect than just, you know, me and my well-being. Because now I see that company again, you know, trying to do another one, and I'm starting to see that this isn't just like that company, it's all the companies, like, it's that are doing this illegal stuff out in the middle of nowhere. They have, you know, they can't, they don't have the money to be legal, right, to where they can pass a permit. And not just that, they can't do that now because of the coronavirus and all, and like, you know, the next one or whatever is going to happen, like, these companies are all supposed to be shut down, but, you know, people want to go to these events, so they're, you know, they're giving into the demand. And yeah, I'm just starting to find that it seems like this has probably been going on a lot longer than just, like, you know, this year or last year. It's just been kind of a constant thing since the day events got going.
So Tim, if Michael would have overdosed or something bad happened to him accidentally, you, like, what would happen to you? These people wouldn't have been so gung-ho about getting him to a hospital. They would have, like, maybe possibly just put him out in the middle of nowhere and hid his body, right? I mean, something happened to him. He's gone. He's been gone for almost 2 months now, and was at that party. So is that what you felt like might have happened to you if you would have went unconscious, that they would have just probably
yeah,
dumped?
there's, because they couldn't explain that. Nobody was ready to explain it. Nobody wanted to talk about it. Like, I still see these people now and they look at me like they're seeing a ghost. Like, they're, yeah, absolutely, they would, you know, that's entirely possible that people can do something like that when, you know, nobody wants to, you know, take responsibility, and it becomes a responsibility hot potato to the point where somebody just makes the decision for everyone. That's entirely possible. Like, there's no doubt in my mind anymore that, you know, people, you know, aren't capable of that. They're completely capable of it.
So I get, if she say, you know, I mean, we know there's drugs all over the place, and those, if he would have overdosed and somebody wanted to hide him, you know, a group of people,
Hmm.
they're out in the middle of nowhere. They could, I mean, that could happen. So,
Yeah.
but these, like you said, these are really sketchy kind of events, and they're not really legal. That's why they're in the middle of nowhere where people aren't going to be. So if things go wrong, nobody
Yeah.
wants that to end their, you know, that kind of reminds me of like
That's,
the freaking, you know, like the cult or like the Hell's Angels, you know, get rid of that body, like that kind of
yeah.
a process that could happen to him.
Yeah. I feel like because, you know, that I feel like that's the main reason why you would put an event out in the middle of nowhere, is because if something goes wrong, then you're in the perfect place for, you know, it to happen, where you've got, you know, a cluster of different types of people. You've got the ones who think they get, the people who are like so-called healers who think that they can, you know, save somebody with some crystals and sage. You got your neo-paganist witches out there who think that they can save somebody in the middle of some type of manic episode on PCP. Yeah, basically a bunch of people on drugs who think that they're more, you know, qualified than a medical professional to make decisions on behalf of people's lives all over the place. And to be honest, like, when that thing came down on my head, I was like, shit, I'm so screwed. Nobody out here has any business dealing with me. Like, that was my first thought. It was like, I'm for sure gonna die. And then miraculously stopped bleeding. But yeah, none of those people out there have Like that's why you have legal events, because you can have medical staff and, you know, paramedics.
Right. And an event like that legally would have had, you know, some EMTs or ambulance nearby or something like that if it was legal, but it was
Yeah. Yeah. So I definitely would say this type of thing is because of the way the people work and how it is very like hive minded. Like I would call it a case for the FBI, not a case for the sheriffs. The sheriffs are going to give up. They're going to get tired. This is something that, you know, these people, if they're all running on the same story, that's where you need to start kind of looking deeper into it, because the story has been, it's probably scared them all so much to the point they spent an entire week together trying to get their story right. You know, it's things like that that happen. Like they
yeah.
yeah.
And up
Go ahead.
here, I mean, I'm from California, and up here in Podunk Nowhereville, there's, you know, I asked Tina, the mom, about Michael. I said, you know, the Fauna Fry case up here in Josephine County, they're not really doing much. They don't have the manpower. They don't even, the sheriff's department doesn't even work 24 hours. Like they're closed at 5 p.m., but they patrol only 20 hours a day, not 20. And it's a huge county. And I said, are you getting more from Lane County up there, their sheriff's department? She's like, not really. Like they don't have manpower either, you know, and it's a vast, huge forest area where, I mean, if you look at it on Google Earth, where Hobo Campground is, he's fine. You got Isabel. Look at these mommies on there. They're like, oh, poor Kathy, you must be so scared. Please stay safe for your mom, Tim. He's not going back there anymore. He's not allowed. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I didn't even know about him getting hurt until well after the fact.
Like it was like a week or so after. It was a long time. And honestly, like I was like, well, if anything happened, you guys wouldn't have known anything maybe for like a month.
Exactly. It would have been that kind of situation. I'd have been like, I haven't talked to my son. I'd have called my other son, like, can you find your brother? Because that's what I do when I can't get hold of him. He's like, yeah, I'll find him. But that would have been like, it probably would have taken us a week or so to realize that he was missing. And then what do you do? Where was the last place he was? What was he doing?
My friends, in quote, who I'm not friends with anymore. I actually, like, nobody's my friend from that place. When we came back, because I couldn't even.
Oh, Tim, I got $5. Lenny donated $5 for you.
Aw, that's wonderful. So I literally I came back, and my friends, the ones I've no longer talked to, were keeping me locked up in her apartment, like it was some kind of Anne Frank scenario, and they knew I was mad. Everybody knew I was mad after that. It was not, you know, I had staples in my head, like, and they really hurt, but I was pretty much like, you know, ready to get started immediately on them. And so I was basically being kept like, oh no, you're not good enough to go out on your own right now. You need to stay here and heal. Like literally just creating padding time so they could all think. And so for like 3 months straight, I'd text my friend and be like, you need to tell them right now that I'm taking legal action. I'm handling this. I'm like, you know, you need to like make this a serious thing because you brought me there. It's your responsibility.
Look at Mad Jack says, we've put free parties on in the UK, but we have all corners covered, including security and first aiders. People take drugs at parties. Bad things can happen, but this is absolutely awful. Yeah. You need security and you need medics. You really do.
Yeah, they keep people safe. That's what the point is. You're supposed to feel like you can go somewhere and be safe, not go somewhere and anything can happen. You know, it's I think it's essential now for people to actually have a good experience at a festival or an event. They have to be looked after.
But, you know, young adults, like Michael's 27 and he's missing. His parents didn't even know he wasn't living at home. They didn't know he went away to this rave thing that weekend, this renegade. There's buses there and loads of people. She was just sharing there. I just looked at the Michael Bryson Facebook page, and there's like some pictures now posted from there. But this is him in the background, behind the birthday girl. But you can see it's just a forest, back there. It's just a campground in the middle of a forest. And they've taken dogs and everything to look for him. So whoever did away with Michael in whatever way they did, they hit him. They hit him somewhere pretty good. And there was another post up here that showed like this bus. They had this bus that came in, and so
Wow.
I guess this is him. But yeah, so I mean, it's dangerous, and I don't know, people with young adult kids, you need to realize like there's is definitely something to say, okay, these renegade parties out there in the middle of nowhere can be dangerous. And people do disappear, and people do get hurt, and it's anybody's answer what's going to happen if that happens to you when you're out there. So
yeah, they don't have it. These events don't have insurance also, so that's another reason why I would believe that these people were ready to cover everything up at all costs, because when there's no insurance, there's no you have to somebody has to take that heat. And I don't think there's one person in the world brave enough to just say, okay, that was me. Like, that's all me. I'm ready to go to jail for the next who knows how long for involuntary manslaughter. Like, nobody on this planet that I know has the amount of what I call it, dignity and self-respect and serious guts to take that blame. So it's going to happen as a group to cover the whole thing up. What do they say about heavy objects? How some things are so heavy it takes multiple people to carry them. So if the FBI were to go and look into that whole group of people and just push on them one by one, eventually they're all going to crack at the same time, because that's the way those mindsets work in those groups.
Yeah.
I've been in a battle with it for the last year now that I'm alive and able. So those people,
Gayla says, I lectured my neighbor about not going to raves. She went anyway and was drugged and raped. So there you go. There, you don't know who's going to be there, and you put drugs in your system and you get altered mind, things are going to happen. And there was another comment about the stage. Like, the stages aren't really super, obviously the stage fell on your head. That's not like up to code, putting up a makeshift stage in the middle of, right? What was the stage like?
Oh no, that was bad. That was even worse. So the stage itself was like, I had to be anywhere between 750 and 1,000 pounds, because I when I went back, because I needed to go and see what happened later on. I wasn't like done yet. I wanted to see where it all went wrong. The stage was on a truss system, which is basically on a platform with a big LED wall. So the pieces are about like that big, that thick, and like 2 by 2. So 2 feet by 2 feet. Each one weighs about 25 to 40 pounds, depending on the unit. And they had these things hanging on this truss system like wind chimes. And it all started because one of the production people said, I don't care, whatever it is. Like, he's basically said, this isn't my responsibility to look after this. And it was his. He just was being a jerk. And so there's these giant, expensive wind chimes essentially hanging 15 feet above my head. And so when I went to go to the bathroom and walked back, and the wind kicked up out of nowhere, and then next thing you know, I was buried underneath heavy metal and electrical components. So if I didn't, not only that, I was in danger of being electrocuted too. So aside from the blunt force trauma to the head, I would say the odds were quite out of my favor. But the person whose fault it was, he said it was his fault right away, and then everybody basically was like, "Oh, don't say that. Like, this isn't. We don't know, And that's kind of the response I got for the rest of the whole time. Like, when I was like, "All right, so how are we going to deal with this?" Because that's why I went back, because I was like, I need to face these people now.
Yeah.
You know, and which was their greatest nightmare. So, when I actually bullied them back to the point where now I'm making progress out of this legally. So, yeah, I was like, cool, I have a mission in life now.
Isabel wants me to use the F word. I've let it slip a couple times and she thinks it's hilarious. Like I don't fit the mold of using the F word or something like that.
That's funny.
Awesome. Okay. Anything else you want to tell us about it before we go?
Yeah, I mean, raise awareness to the younger people going to these things. Like, it's not all as it's hyped up to be. Anybody can make a cool flyer, make it look like the safest, most awesome place in the world, and it can literally be in a dump. Like, so you just got to do your research about the type of people who are throwing it, what they're throwing it for, if they have any, connections, to the outside world that might make them be a little bit more accountable. That's a good sign of a safe event. People
and the drug dealers coming because they know these people they're going to sell their drugs to in the raves. The young people don't necessarily, like the people going to the event don't necessarily have to be in the middle of being buddy with drug dealers, but they're going to be there. They're going to know where these events are, and they're going to come in there and sell you your whatever PCP or whatever crap that
Yeah.
And so I just feel like it's kind of an underground type ring thing where they put up these illegal events and the nefarious people are alerted and they're in there too, selling this stuff, and something's going to happen to somebody, and it does. And Michael Bryson didn't just walk away into, and be abducted by aliens. Something happened to him at that party.
Yeah. And, that I feel for the guy because, I do have to look back now for a long time until the PTSD goes away or however that's going to happen. I don't know, but I have to look back and wonder like how things would have been if, I didn't make it out of there. And, you could have been doing an investigation right now still, and
then everybody would say, oh, her friend was murdered and her son disappeared. That's weird for one family.
Yeah.
There's like kind of an inside thing on that. But yeah, you're right. We would want to know what happened to you. Absolutely.
Right. Yep, exactly. So yeah, that's my experience on it. That's literally one experience that I have that I feel like I'll have thoughts on for the rest of my life. But I also, do believe that this whole thing can use a serious investigation, with the appropriate channels, such as the FBI.
I don't know if you know about the Fauna Fry story, but we've been following that, and the Oregon State Police are involved now, and it was just the Sheriff's Department before. But I've been told there's a lot of FBI in Oregon. There's a lot of FBI, so I don't know if anybody's reached out to them or not, but it does sound like why did this kid go missing at this weird party, which most likely whoever is the kingpin of the party or planning it, or who you do it, there's somebody bigger. There's a bigger group of people involved in this. So it does sound like
there's people with bigger interests to protect.
Right, that's the word. Yeah.
It's usually, like that was the offensive part to me when I went through the situation I went through. I was like, oh, this was not about my life. This is protecting other people. This is protecting other people who have a lot more to lose than me in my life. Which is crazy to think about, but it's just the crazy reality is that the further out these events are, the more drug dealers involved, the more crime involved to make it happen, the higher the chances crime's going to continue to cover everything up.
And people young adults are like Michael are going to be the victims. So
yeah, literally.
You could have been one too. All right. Well, thanks. Okay. I've been on here for all over 2.5 hours and my stomach is growling. So thank you, son. Appreciate it. Nice seeing you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Nice seeing you too.
I am moving back down there next week, so I'll be down.
Okay. Well, just give me a call if you need any help.
I do.
Okay.
Put it on your
Okay.
calendar. Thank
Okay.
you.
Sounds
Anything
good.
else you want to say before I click you out of here? No?
No, I'm gonna go do some Saturday stuff.
All right. Love
Um,
you. Thank
love
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay,
Have
bye.
a great day. Bye.
All right. So that was that. So anyways, you guys, I think we're like 2 hours and 34 minutes, which is pretty long. I appreciate you all being here. And that was kind of cool. We had Gray Hughes on today, and we had my son, Tim, and, a little bit of insight with that kind of stuff. So I will be, I'm going to eat, number one. And number two, I will talk to you guys all very soon. Anything else? Thank you, Luna. Appreciate it. Glad you like the channel. It's up and growing. I'm getting really happy about that. And thank you, Granny Sue, mods. Eleni, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Have a fabulous weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye, everybody. Much appreciated that you're all here. Bye-bye.